The beer dispenser's bearded Spencer, spare no expense, sir.
Today, Monday, May 2nd, 2016. Listless and Guestless, or The Problem with Everything. Hey, everybody. I'm Holiday Rob, one of your hosts.
I am the other host, Lowki Sapfoot.
We're the hostess with the mostest, except not the most hostess cupcake is.
Well, we got a few hostess cupcakes.
But we're saving them for later, and you can't have one, so get out of here. No, wait, stay.
We have quite a few. There might be a host out there with more hostess cupcakes than we have.
He's got the mostest hostess cupcakes.
We're probably in the running, though, unless
the hostess with the mostest hostess cupcakes.
the hostesses with the mostest hostess cupcakes hoists his cup. I don't know what I'm saying.
Towards the sun.
We may have been drinking.
I made a delicious blended fruity
elixir
whiskey thing that I just, today was sunny and I thought, why not live it up like we're living in paradise, man? Let's have a paradise type
because
drink.
we are, if we're in the right mindset.
God damn right. I always feel like a liar when people are like, how you doing? And I'm like, another day in paradise. I don't know if I don't say it sarcastically enough, but I try and say it with enough of me dead inside that they kind of know.
I'm sure they get the gist. I'm sure based on their own uphill trudge through shit,
their own
that they call their life,
Sisyphean existence.
I'm sure they've gathered what you're dispersing. So well,
because it's like nobody ever really wants to hear what you're, how you doing. There's that one meme where it's like, adults are so weird. They'll say how you're doing without actually wanting to know how you're doing.
Yeah. You ever ask how you're doing and then somebody actually tells you, like, honestly, they're like, I don't know, man. I got this rash.
There's a burning.
I think my girlfriend's cheating on me.
I'm pretty sure I'm not the kid's dad.
I got an ulcer. Shit is rough.
Or a tumor. It's one or the other.
But enough about me. How are you?
I'm sure you're doing much better than I am.
I'd like to tell you what we talked about in this podcast, but I don't really remember.
Basically, we talked about how stories can save the world if we care. If we don't, then the right thing to do is to kill the human race in order to save the planet. I really feel like that was the conclusion of everything.
So are we going to change the name of the podcast now that we've solved all the problems with everything? I blacked out near the end, so I'm just assuming that we wrapped it up in a nice bow with solving all of the world's problems, right?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, it's either do your shit and do it right, or fuck it, we're all burning on the way to hell. As the plane goes down.
Getting my kicks before the whole shit house goes down.
And if you like more of this uplifting talk and you can't get enough of it, we are on iTunes. So all you got to do is punch in The Problem with Everything, and you'll find us on iTunes. You can subscribe to us. It downloads right to your whatever it is that you listen to, onto your computer or your phone.
Follow us on SoundCloud too.
Yeah,
that's good times.
That one, we've been getting quite a few listens on that. So it helps to have awesome guests who have great conversations that don't drag you down and make you cry. But
when we're alone, it gets dark.
If you want to cry though, in 140 characters or less, you can follow me on Twitter. I'm at Holiday Rob, all one word, Holiday Rob.
Yeah, I'm on there too, at Sapfoot. You'll find tongue twisters and bullshit.
And pube noodles.
Pube noodles. Yeah.
That's a great band name.
Fetch the maitre d'. There's a pube in my noodles.
I had a plan to play some video games recently because I was going to have a little bit of extra time. That was a lie. The lie detector found that was not true. I didn't actually have any time. I tried to play a little bit and just really kind of screwed myself game-wise. Anyway, I play on the PlayStation Network, PS3. It's a game called Eve Dust 514.
What does that mean?
Oh.
Have you
Eve
in all the hours you've put in, have you figured out what the fuck that means?
Eve is like a larger thing, so it's like, I don't know.
She's that chick with the bear prints on her boobs, right?
Right. She's a ride or die chick.
Yeah. Rough Riders.
Eve is like I don't know if it's
Stop.
Like a
drop, shut them down, open up shop.
Sorry. Rough Riders roll.
Yeah.
D-O-X. On top of the ball.
What were you saying?
I don't know. It's part of a bigger thing. It's like a little tiny piece of a larger.
Is this a series of games?
I've never seen it as a series, but I know the company. It's like when companies put out like the same game, but they stop using the name of the original one, or I don't know, something like that. So if like Mass Effect got so far, it would be like Mass Effect's Scavengers.
Yeah, well, it's like Mega Man X, and people were like, "Is that Mega Man 10 or is that X?" And then they confirmed that it was X because they came out with X1 and X2, or maybe X. There was an X.
Now
X1,
Final Fantasy
X2.
did that too.
Yeah.
What do you play?
I play on the Xbox Live network. Is that what it's called? I don't even know what the fuck it's called. But I'm on there, Lowki Sapfoot, just like it's spelt, no spaces, just all one word, Lowki Sapfoot. You can also find me on the Nintendo Wii U, but I hardly play that shit right now. It's all about Rocket League. All Rocket League all the time.
You get obsessions you gotta like work through. I didn't even say I'm holiday sale, holiday_sale on the PlayStation
On the
network.
PSN.
You can check us out on Facebook. Same thing. The Problem with Everything. Like us, please. We've got 125 likes.
God damn right, son.
So we're not doing too shabby, honestly. Like lately, the last couple of shows have been, fan favorites. People have been listening. We've been getting interactions online. We might be giving away some shit, so that would be cool.
Yeah.
I do have some upcoming shows for holiday sale. Holiday Rob has some shows
Quietly kept featuring Holiday Rob.
Yeah, right. God.
Of Holiday Sale.
So the first one that we have coming up in May is going to be Broken Trail 1-year anniversary show, formerly 365 Distillery. We'll be performing on May 14th. That's a Saturday. And I don't know, we'll probably mention it next week too, because May 14th is a ways away still. But yeah, we actually have a bunch of shows this month, and I'm pretty stoked about it, except that's going to cut into my actual time for making money for rent and food.
You don't need that shit.
I know.
All he
right?
needs is a stage and
a gun and some land. Get off!
Or a bat wrapped in barbed wire.
And name it a pretty girl. Or after a pretty girl. Yeah. So this is the show. It's way exciting. I think we pretty much refer from everything from comic books to Greek philosophy and back again. It's like a full circle of nonsense about how to make order of human civilization. And we've figured out the problem with the human race and how to take care of it. It's spoiler alert, extermination is the answer.
Too long, didn't read? Extermination. All right.
We're gonna play a song. Play us in.
We're gonna play a song
The
to
fuck
play
does
us
that
in.
mean?
What does that mean to play us in? Well, what it means is that I'm gonna play a song by myself.
Yeah.
I go by Lowki Sapfoot. You can find me on lowkisapfoot.bandcamp.com. You can get this shit for free if you like it, or you can throw me some dollars if you want. You don't have to. It's cool. I just want you to be happy and enjoy the music.
It's kind of like you're busking online. It's like
that's what it's like these days. Yeah,
it's kind of interesting.
Kind of. Although I don't really care, honestly, at all if you pay money. I just want you to enjoy it. So go to lowkisapfoot.bandcamp.com. This song is from the Solo Volume 1 EP, and it features Holiday Sale, Rob and Minnie singing, and it's called The Only, which I later found out was a song title that I subconsciously ripped off from Static X. They had an album that came out around the time, I think, that I wrote the words to this, and then they had a song called The Only on it, and I didn't even realize it.
I was most into your subconscious.
Yeah. Anyway, it's nothing like that song. So check it out, The Only, Lowki Sapfoot, featuring Holiday Sale, and then we'll ramble at you for a long time after that.
Yay!
Hooray! life, each exhale is death. Each step right off the cliff, each trip with its own logic. Infinite, spin it right round. Does the record skip or better the wits? God and the devil, apocalypse is on a loop. So lick your lips, shake your hips, feel your heartbeat tick. Rock to this, it is right now again. Get down to the ground and push the love in. Pound out the hate, can't separate black from the white, the color from gray. You're born from below, better than from prey. We don't know which way, and that's why we pray.
Paints and dusty notebooks, camouflage hearts and sideways looks. This rhythm's the only thing. This moment's the only place. This rhythm's the only thing. This moment's the only place.
Darkness, incubate in the lab until we sprout wings to sing the devils down. Drowning out the screams, not packing up the dream. Yeah, the swing set, sunset, all bets are off. Black clouds gather, the thick smoke off. Sadder it gets, you'll pick on my locks when we get our wish. Drift with the current, the blur it's become unsure and unspun. Never undone, never run from your sunlight, my love. Above the grain is heinous mania, saving ya a spot right by the stage. In the meantime, let yourself be saved. Let out your rage. Cages can't hold us, cages are bogus. Hate can't control us.
Dried-up paints and dusty notebooks, camouflage hearts and sideways looks. This rhythm's the only thing. This moment's the only place. This rhythm's the only thing. This moment's the only place. With dried up paints and dusty notebooks, camouflage hearts and sideways looks. This rhythm's the only thing. This moment's the only place. This rhythm's the only thing. This moment's the only place.
This is the part where my heart slows down. The ground envelops me, not bound to sound. Sight, touch, we fight. Too much inside, the ride won't stop. Buckle up in the twilight of my dark night. The bright love slut till the sunlight wept and faded. Hatred, anguish, in the tiny hours. The pain for the lies is the flower bloom in the aftermath. We'll sit back and laugh when we think of the tear-stained ink. Drink to the past and walk down the path. The sunbath heights where nights fly by.
Oh, oh. Oh, yeah. Oh, oh. Oh, yeah. Oh, oh. Man, the fucking 80s were so weird.
Yeah. Correct.
Such a bizarre time.
Yeah, I'm glad that the back to the 80s fad is
Over.
over.
Now it's the 90s.
Yeah, I think I've mentioned before, however. There's some 90s, oh my god.
Oh my god. Well, the thing I like putting on at work is 90s music. So I work in a it's basically like a tap room for a distillery. One of my many jobs right now. And so we got to put on music, and I'm a fucking fascist,
Snob.
a musical fascist. So
Yeah.
well, I've had to like loosen up some of my stuff, but what I think is loose, some people find absolutely offensive, and what I find absolutely offensive, some people think is like awesome.
Right.
So
It's all relative.
it is stupid and relative. Yeah, 90s hip hop, if you just throw that on, like either a mix that you've made or like in one of the streaming services,
Yeah.
people lose their fucking mind.
It's mostly, I'd say, universally appealing
It is, and
at this point,
it's
unless it's like old people. Like '90s hip hop probably not big in the Trump supporter crowd.
You know
or
what
the
though? I've had
Cruise crowd.
I've had like probably 40 plus, maybe 50 plus, like talking to me about NWA and how great they are.
Yeah.
It has been absolutely bizarre. And
I'm talking like old though.
oh yeah, probably.
You know, like
I usually don't play that kind of stuff if I know there's going
the
to be
kind of guys that are mad because the basketball players' shorts are baggy. Those kind of guys. They're probably not really into that colored music so much. I
I
don't know.
miss white people on basketball teams. It's so rare.
They're on there now. They're just giant like Serbians and shit. You know?
Still a bunch of foreigners.
Right.
I don't know why I did that accent. It doesn't always have to be like that.
Because you're a bigot. You're a bigot against people from the South. You assume that they're all bigots, which makes you some sort of reverse bigot.
Or just part of the bigot circle.
Yeah. The circle of bigotry.
The infinite Mobius strip of bigotry.
Yes. Life feeds on life.
What road is this? It's Bigot Road. Does it go anywhere? No, it just goes in a circle. A circle of jerks,
Yeah.
basically. But yeah, so 90s hip hop is pretty awesome. Frankly, though, it seems like the younger generation digs it too, because, well, when they're not listening to shit like trap. Okay,
I don't even understand what that is.
So there's different styles of it. I have a trap house.
I thought that trap was like a situation where you think it's a girl and then she has a dick and she like trapped you. I thought that's what that meant. When I started hearing about trap music, I thought it was somehow related.
Yeah.
Like chicks with secret dicks.
With big hands and feet.
Right. I don't know. So explain it to me. What is trap music?
Well, it's basically just it's like the worst of like crunk and that repetitive corporate hip hop shit mixed with EDM styles. So there's like trap house, there's like trap step, which
so
is
it's
like
just
dubstep.
like the dumbed down corporate rap beat, crunk, yeah,
or
that
just
kind of
or it
thing.
can be like four to the floor. Like it's not. It just basically takes from the worst of like one style and the unimaginativeness of different electronic styles and then mashes them together. And
Okay.
it's like, frankly, it's that kind of music that if you can like, if it's not grading you, like I've used it to like study and write papers. It's fantastic for that.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to fucking pay attention to it at all. It's just repetitive, endless nonsense. And
Is this what I call Vegas music? Is it the like kind of sound that's constantly happening everywhere you walk in Vegas? Where it's
I
just,
bet some places play it.
it's
but-
like when we were there, it was the same Adele song and the same
Vampire
Mafio
Weekend
or
and,
whatever they're called. The I Work Out
Migos,
song.
Hannah Montana.
Right.
And just like all that pop stuff too. So like anything Katy Perry, like any club, Katy Perry, Nicki Minaj.
yeah, all the remixes of that shit.
Flo
That's just
Rida, like-
repetitive,
Yeah,
annoying.
Yeah. Mostly,
People, yeah, so it gets all fast and then
Yeah.
it stops.
Yeah.
And then the beat comes back and everybody goes crazy. I don't,
oh my God.
I don't understand. I
I
feel like I could push play and then pump my fist.
Yeah.
I'll even wear a giant mouse head, whatever you want me to do.
Well, it used to be really cool. Like,
Actually, that guy's all right.
back in the rave days, because, I mean, it was funny. Like back in the rave days, I never did any drugs because I didn't know if I could trust anybody, honestly,
Right.
and so I wasn't gonna be walking around with like a head full of MDMA, you know, like
Which was probably meth anyway.
right
from what
or
I've heard.
mostly.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a service that would like test pills and stuff, so you could make sure
That's
that
cool.
you had like legit shit, or you weren't gonna poison yourself, or you weren't gonna end up in a coma or a hospital, or fucking fried out of your mind. You know,
When I was like, I don't know, 14 or 15, we had in science class, we got a bunch of pH pills.
whoa,
And they're like brightly colored capsules that you use to test the pH of a liquid or whatever the fuck.
yeah,
And I remember I stole a bunch of them, allegedly. I took a bunch with me from the school. And
I didn't know I
was like,
had 'em.
I'm going to try to sell these at the Static X concert to see if anyone will buy them. They're harmless. Like you could eat it. Nothing would happen to you.
oh my god, you were the guy selling bunk drugs. Huh?
I didn't do it. I didn't have the guts. I still don't have the guts to do something like that.
But look at you. Your
can't.
your butt is safe and you're
Mm-hmm.
prison free.
That's true. That's actually like I'm like that guy from Boondocks, like their neighbor that acts white.
What's his name?
Thomas. Yeah,
Tom.
Tom. Yeah, my biggest motivator in life is making sure I don't go to prison and get ass raped. So.
What does he say in that? It's so funny. He's like, "You can't have my." All I can remember is the Booty Warriors lines.
You can't have my booty.
Yeah.
He got all nervous because someone was burning a CD. You know.
I'm gonna tell you, I like you and I want you, and we can either do this the easy way or we can do this the hard way. Either way, I'm getting that booty. He like fucks a fake Chris Hansen. He's like, "You're here waiting for a 13-year-old boy," and he's like, "Actually, I'm here for you, Chris. Pretty sweet on you." These are not exact quotes. This is just the gist.
So we're gonna sit here and paraphrase Boondocks all day? Or?
Oh man, why not? That's a great show. Have you seen this show? I have an episode, a copy of the Ballad of Jimmy Rebel, which is the most racist fucking thing ever.
I don't know if I've seen that one. I've really only seen like the first season of Boondocks. Oh my god,
we could have watched that one and talked about that shit. It's actually on my PlayStation. So it's like Uncle Ruckus wants to. He's like a fan of this guy Jimmy Rebel, who's like just like a super racist country star, and like sings racist songs. Like right. I can't remember what it was. It was like yeah, no, it's not coming to me.
It's all good.
But
sounds like something Uncle Ruckus would be into.
Oh yeah, no, he totally is. And so he's like Uncle Ruckus sending him these songs, and he's like, "These are great songs." And then he's like, "I want to meet you." And then he's like, "Oh my god."
Maybe I've at least seen part of it where Uncle Ruckus sings his song. I've definitely seen that part. And at the end, sings his country song.
And at the end, they come together because of racism against Mexicans. Spoiler alert.
It's a wonderful story.
It's amazing. It's so beautiful.
Warms the cockles of my heart.
Those little racist spots deep within in my soul.
The cockles that are hard to get to. I think that's what a cockle is. It's the part that's hard to fill in with warmth.
But the kids love the 90s hip hop for the most part when they're not listening to garbage. Like any kid that's been exposed to like good music will tend to lean towards good music as opposed to like the horse shit that's coming out now.
Yeah.
Because, okay, so Quietly Kept is playing the Prince tribute. And this is, we haven't talked about this on any show. I don't know if
we didn't mention it.
We didn't mention it last week even, but yeah.
I figured like we got these people that are alive.
Right. Let's talk about being them. Alive.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know about this dead guy. He was awesome. But.
He was awesome, but playing his music or like trying to learn some songs because we're doing the tribute. Like
his ghost might sue you. Be careful.
I hope so. Maybe it'll be fabulous while it's happening. It'll be like amazing. But I've never been like the biggest Prince fan, and not because I don't think he's good. It just was never my thing growing up.
I've always liked the idea of Prince, but I don't really just like sit there and listen to Prince. His song though, when the Joker is defacing all the art, Party Man, that is the shit.
Yeah.
Party Man is that song.
Is that what that?
Well, he did the whole album. There's like the Bat Dance. He did all the songs on the whole thing.
And that was like an odd and amazing stroke of genius on part of that film. Like. Yeah. It was fun.
It's perfect.
It was fun. I mean, you have Joker in a purple suit, Prince is playing in the background, defacing art, possibly making it more valuable. Don't touch this. I like this. So yeah, I don't know. I kind of missed the boat on Prince. I blame my father. He was like, I don't like faggy bands like Led Zeppelin and any of that 80s hair metal. I mean, I didn't like 80s hair metal either.
Led Zeppelin isn't really 80s hair
metal. No, but I mean, like later on, like they
gave birth to it probably.
Oh yeah. No, but it like kind of like.
It's just like Toby Keith isn't Garth Brooks' fault. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
I guess I shouldn't compare Garth Brooks to Led Zeppelin, but I think for this analogy, it's apt.
I think for country music, yeah. I mean, there's like a weird break in the new school and the old school, like.
And Garth Brooks is the link.
80s, 90s, and Randy Travis probably I'd say too.
Yeah, well, that whole era, Brooks and Dunn,
Tim
McGraw,
taking where Merle Haggard and Willie Nelson left off a little bit and
ruining it.
Yeah, and just like turning
shitting
into
all over it.
utter shit.
I like Garth Brooks.
Yeah, and I like a little
Maybe
bit of,
I should.
I like a couple of
but
Randy Travis songs. So I mean,
I don't really know any Randy Travis songs. I probably would if I heard them.
oh, you definitely
yeah.
fucking would.
Yeah.
I'm gonna love you forever, ever and ever.
Okay.
Amen.
Yeah, definitely know that one. Who does the one? All the lights in the house are on. That's been like intermittently stuck in my head for like a year.
Really?
Yeah. Every time like I wake up and I'm turning off the lights before I go to work that were left on, it pops into my head just for a minute or two.
See, and that's why like people should be really careful about what kind of music. I'm just gonna go with music right now. They expose their kids to, because there's like an age where like you just soak that shit up. And I'm not talking like as a child. Maybe as a child, but like really the stuff I can't forget is the shit I like listened to in mid school, high school. Like that whole link right there is like shit I can't ever get out of my head.
I think that's why in our household it's 2 Live Crew or nothing. The kids only hear 2 Live Crew if we can help it. It's important.
Do
it's important to start them in the right
Do they do
direction.
Ass Up, Face Down? Is that one that they do?
I don't even know.
I can't remember. I don't
know any other songs other than that they're awesome.
Right.
And then what's her name was very upset. What's her name? Tipper Gore. She was very upset about.
Oh fuck,
2
Tipper
Live
Gore.
Crew.
Which is what I love about the songs we've chosen to do for the Prince tribute. We're doing "Darling Nikki," which is the one she quoted as like, "This is why albums need a label on them."
That's the one about the girl masturbating.
Yeah, she's like
finding her sexuality.
This song is about a 15-year-old girl masturbating in a room with a magazine or something. Like her just like totally being incensed about like
that doesn't sound that offensive.
Like frankly, like if you're a kid and you hear that, you're just like, I don't know what that is. I don't fucking care. She's like, what is she like? Really reading it, with intent? I don't know what masturbation means because I'm fucking 8 and I don't touch myself and I don't like.
Does she think that they're not gonna discover it if they don't hear the song? They're never gonna accidentally rub up against something and be like, oh,
right?
Oh my! I remember when I was a little kid. One time I masturbated thinking about Frankenstein. And it wasn't like a gay thing, I wasn't sexually attracted to Frankenstein.
It was just something that made you happy.
I think the thoughts and the action were separate.
Okay.
I'm saying any human being is going to discover themselves.
Right. Well, it's like Louis C.K. has that one, you just for some reason when you're little like that, you end up with an erection and it feels good to just rub it on everything. You're just like rubbing it on things where it doesn't matter. What's the object? Try that. What's this texture like? I don't know.
My earliest erection memory was being angry that I couldn't pee in the morning because I had to pee so bad and I had this raging boner. I must have been like 4. This is like a super young memory, and I just couldn't pee, and it was burning. I was like, I have to pee. What the fuck? Why is my weird giant rock hard dick not peeing like it normally does when it's not giant and rock hard? What's going on here? I was very upset.
Oh my god, I don't remember it that young, but I remember like probably 7 or 8, just being like, why does it do that? Why is it doing that? And why do I enjoy it rubbing up against my pants? It's really weird.
Yeah.
But you don't think about it like necessarily like in weird terms. You're just like, this is just a thing that happens.
You don't really think about it at first. You just kind of absent-mindedly.
I mean, your finger goes in your nose and your dick gets hard sometimes. And these are just things that happen in life.
It's one of those things. Like everyone's pinky, for the most part, fits right in the nostril
or in the ear. Like
both. Yeah.
And why would you not? I'm sorry, adult who's telling me not to do that in public. Why would you not? If something's bothering you, you should take care of it. If you have an itch, you should scratch it. And if you have a boner, sometimes you're just going to rub it on a couch.
That's what you got to do.
I'm not getting off my stomach out of bed yet. Just leave me alone.
I remember having this conversation. It was back in high school, and we were talking about when we were like, 8 or 9 or whatever, and we were trying to maybe a little older. I don't know. It's all hazy. Trying to fuck inanimate objects, trying to figure out the way to do it, putting a plastic bag between couch cushions and lubing it up, and then fucking the crevice. Or my friend said that he got a grapefruit and cut a slit in it, and I was like, it seems,
Wouldn't that burn?
yeah, it seems like it would burn.
Citric
and
acid?
like the edges of the peel would be abrasive.
You would
Like,
think so, yeah.
There'd be a lot of shaft chafage, I would imagine. Like, you ever get like soap in the hole of your dick, and it's unholy pain, and it's. Could you imagine that with like grapefruit acid?
Mine's not
Be
like
awful.
mine's not like that anymore. Mine's got calluses because I've played instruments with it. A la Metalocalypse.
Oh, like William Murderface. Yeah.
So it feels very few things anymore.
That's good.
When the apocalypse happens, I'll probably just peel the skin off and use it as a shoe.
So you need like very specific things to get there now, because feeling won't do it because of
Yeah.
the calluses.
No, I gotta
So
be-
you need to like see someone die.
Maybe some exploding varmints.
You got to put a gun up against your head and make her cry. That's the only, like, Phil Spector. That's the only way you can get there.
At first, but then you put it in your mouth when you're about to finish because
In your own
need
mouth
you need the
to-
danger. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just roll the barrel and
Click it right when you.
oh, I'm alive. We're
That kind
alive.
of sounds awesome, actually. Right? I mean,
We're a bunch of sick people.
I don't
Kind
know.
of sick people do this podcast. You'll love it, you maggots.
I'm too afraid to try it, but the feeling of like,
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure
coming
the
and
adrenaline,
living at the same time
adrenaline.
would be amazing.
Don't fuck this up.
You make it like 6 months with a pretty regular Russian roulette jack off habit, and you live, and you're like, fuck, it's taking longer now though. I'm gonna have to put 2 bullets in.
How am I gonna up the ante on this shit?
I gotta start doing 2 bullets.
It is really weird how like sexuality and dying are so like intertwined. Like in French, I think it's la mort petite is how they describe
Yeah.
an orgasm,
orgasm.
little death.
Yeah.
And they have done studies on like different animals and or like different, not even animals, like creatures, insects other than humans that have shown the more sex that animal has, only the males though, the more sex it has, the shorter its lifespan. Which
Well-
I'm pretty sure like nobody would
I don't know.
really
I've
be
heard
that
the
sad.
opposite as far as humans go.
Oh really?
I've heard that the more
Well,
sex
it's good for
you
your
have-
prostate.
I've heard it has lots of health benefits.
As long as you're not dating somebody with like hepatitis C.
Well, you don't have to date them
I
for
mean,
it to
you know,
transfer.
bang them. Love them and leave them. Man, there's nothing like exciting going on right now, but there's gonna be some exciting shit coming up.
Is that a fact?
I got my table for FanFest, which is coming in June.
Oh shit! BMG Fan Fest.
Yeah, Black Market Goods FanFest put on by Josh Jones. I can't remember where it's going to be. It might be at the Hilton again or the DoubleTree. And it was great times last time. I just took some comics and sold some comics and talked to people about comics, and it was all comic related for me, and I had a great time doing that. And
Sounds like good times.
it's coming up again, and I don't know. I might be really like trying to move some stuff, try and get rid of some stuff. I'm actually fundraising for a new guitar. Not that anything's wrong with my old guitar, but I would like something for studio work. Like, you know, Quietly kept trying to record a new album.
So fancy studio work.
Studio work, you know, it's just the thing that I do. I hate recording, honestly. Like, when it comes down to it, I've come to realize a couple things about music. One, I fucking hate recording. It is the most
rough,
tedious, annoying thing ever. I love performing, though. Like, that's my favorite thing. You know, why not? I'll be a golden calf for a minute with a guitar.
Golden calf. That's funny.
Like, I mean, it's just so, it's so.
Put your hopes and dreams in me for the next 40 minutes.
Right, yeah, it's so egotistical, but goddamn, like, not doing it for any other, you know, I'm not doing it because I'm saving the environment. I'm using electricity to like distract you.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, but if you like distraction, this next song is by a band I used to be in called Holiday Sale.
And it's very distracting.
It is quite distracting.
I was trying to drive the other day, and this song came on, and I almost killed 3 people.
Well,
So if you're driving right now, either stop the podcast for a few minutes or pull over and enjoy this song by Holiday Sale.
To be fair, when the song really kicks into gear, there shouldn't be people in the crosswalk, whether the light's red or not.
Why is
Whether
that?
your light is red or not, because you can't be held accountable for what the music does to you.
Right.
Pretty
So
much.
if you are driving, make sure you turn it up really, really loud so that if there are pedestrians,
Or
that they'll
witnesses,
hear it
yeah.
and they'll be infected by the amazing the distracting quality of this everyday tune.
It might make their death even better too.
Might make their dick hard too.
Yeah, and then they can rub it between some couch cushions.
Might give them a
or
rock hard clitoris.
on a carpet or whatever, or on each other. Shit. I mean, bonobos and
It's a free
and dolphins
world,
do
man.
it, man. Let's make this
I
happen.
just pictured a bonobo fucking a dolphin when you said that. It's like holding it and it's trying to wiggle like a fish out of water, you know, and it's like holding it down, fucking it. Anyway, this is Everyday Tune by Holiday Sale.
Enjoy.
Time wastes my world away. I'm gone another day. We are the people everywhere. We are the people everywhere. Moving along our way, singing this tune all day. Do 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 do. We try to slow the pace, but I'm gone another day. We are the people who don't care. We are the people everywhere. Content not to beat the clock, humming this song while we walk. Do 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 do. Time wastes my world away. I'm gone another day. We are the people everywhere. We are the people everywhere. Moving along our way, singing this tune all day. Do 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 do.
I was just gonna say something, but I can't remember.
I know I'm losing
Boom,
I'm losing my
boom.
thoughts as like fast as I can. Like,
That's because I'm drinking this
Oh my God.
concoction you made.
so
This-
it's a melon and like 4 mangoes, watermelon, 4 mangoes, and whiskey.
Hell yeah.
A little bit of ice.
Hell yeah.
We don't mess around. And it was a lot of whiskey, frankly, because
Yeah, yeah.
it's going to the head.
Yes.
Going to the head.
Yes.
Well, I'm excited. I know you're not, like, you don't go to the movies, but I am excited for Captain America Civil War. I had never seen, have you seen the first Captain America?
I think so.
You know, where he's like skinny little emaciated dude, and then
There's 2 Captain Americas.
yeah,
right?
then there's the Winter Soldier, which
I've
is,
seen them both.
they're pretty fucking cool. I had never seen them before.
I liked them.
I watched both of them, and I had a great time. Like, in fact,
Yeah.
Captain America was really solid. I can see how it was like amazing that the Marvel Universe got birthed with that one, because it was that, and then it was Thor. Well, they tried to do Hulk, and that just like fucked up.
There's been so many Hulks, right?
Yeah, well, there's or at least one Ang Lee that I know of, like an Eric Bana, and there might be like a second one.
There's the Edward Norton.
And then there's the Edward Norton reboot. Like one is Hulk, and then one is the Incredible Hulk, which is the Edward Norton one. And
Hulk isn't a different character from Incredible Hulk, right? Just
I feel
making
like,
sure.
I feel like it's the same story. Just like Spider-Man is always, it doesn't matter if it's the Amazing or the Astonishing or the Web of or the whatever.
Right. Those aren't like different characters. Like Amazing Spider-Man isn't going to fight Spectacular Spider-Man.
Right. Although I wouldn't be surprised if something like that happened, because Marvel is like, actually all the comic book, DC is the same. The universes are so fucking convoluted.
Right. Well, you can only do so many things. I mean,
well, right now what I just read
kill
was,
characters, bring them back, separate realities, all kinds of shit.
What I just read was the Old Man Logan bunch of stuff, and it's like him after all the superheroes have been like killed off, like living in some desolate shithole with a farm, and Hawkeye, who's like blind now, like comes to try and help him save the farm with like a drug deal like across the country from like Sacramento to DC or something like that, something ridiculous. And it's pretty cool. I mean, like, it's creepy because like Hulk and She-Hulk had to have kids together, and they're like first cousins.
They're cousins?
Yeah.
How does she drink did he drink a thing? Is that how he?
I think he was drinking a thing, but I thought it was gamma radiation, or maybe I'm thinking of Doctor Doom. I'm confusing.
It's always radiation.
All the origins.
It's probably radiation.
Yeah, well, gamma radiation. It's a little bit different than like uranium radiation. I don't know.
All right.
Radioactive radiation. Nuclear.
Radioactive.
Nuclear. I can't even say it.
Nuclear. It's pronounced nuclear.
Marge. But yeah, I don't know. So Civil War looks exciting and fun. I mean, just like going on the Captain America movies, that looks like a good time. So it's Captain America, Thor, and I feel like there's one more that I'm totally like missing. And then they did the Avengers movie and brought them all together. Oh, Iron Man. No, it was Iron Man. So it was Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, and then the Avengers movies.
I think I've seen all of those. They're just not altogether memorable to me. Like, I was entertained and it held my attention for the full 2 hours or whatever.
Right.
But I don't know. I don't remember. Like, if you started detailing them, I'd be like, oh yeah, okay, I remember that. Oh, right, that, yeah. But I got nothing. Maybe it's just because I'm not a big fan.
Well, it's just all origin story stuff. Those three movies, and then they had their subsequent sequels. But see, they all follow like a timeline, which is kind of weird. So Avengers, so those three that I said, don't really think about the Iron Man except maybe Iron Man 2. Or 3. I haven't even seen Iron Man 3. I don't think.
I think I've seen it. What happens in Iron Man 3?
I think it has Manchurian or
Oh yeah, I've seen
Mandarin.
That. Mandarin.
Yeah.
Manchurian. They do the Negan thing. Like, I think that's like a major spoiler. Well, it's like the opposite of the Negan thing, where like they act like it's one guy, but then it's like a bunch of people. Whereas they acted like it was a bunch of people, but it was really one guy on The Walking Dead.
So it was an inverted Negan move. But yeah, and so they follow this timeline where like it's those three movies, it's the Avengers, it's like the second Captain America, and then Civil War and then Age of Ultron, second Avengers, and then this new Civil War flick is the latest thing. Well, Age of Ultron, then Ant-Man. Ant-Man's going to be in it, and that was all right.
I didn't see that one.
That was pretty good.
I heard it was pretty cool.
Paul Rudd is not as clever and funny as he should be.
He plays the Ant-Man?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
And, like, maybe spoiler alert, but there's an amazing part on a toy train, which is just, I mean, it's full size to them.
Yeah. It's all intense.
It's
battle
amazing.
on top of the train style. That's funny.
It's incredible. When I heard that, I was like, okay, I definitely got to watch
So what's his power? He can shrink, but he's still as strong? Or
he gets a suit that, kind of gives him strength and the ability to shrink down and stuff like that.
When he's man-sized, does he have ant strength? Like, so can he like lift cars and throw them when he's like a man size?
It seems like he could.
And then he can shrink to an ant.
He never really uses it that way. He more like because the suit can accelerate him, he can almost be like a bullet. So like even in his tiny state, he can punch people and knock them over and push them, and if he wanted to, be like a mini bullet and just shoot
there's a lot of
right
like
through them.
opportunities for Bruce Campbell style physical comedy.
Yeah, right.
I'm assuming,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
He probably beats up bumbling henchmen that fall all over themselves.
I wish they would have gone more that way. They went a little more serious than that, but that would have been really fucking amazing.
They didn't do that at all?
Kind of. I don't remember a specific scene where that happens, but I remember it is kind of funny because it's just like, like say he'll be like full size in a room, somebody's out there, with like a hostage or whatever, he'll like run, shrink down through the keyhole, get big, jump, shrink down as he's like coming at the person, and then like hit them, and they'll like fall back or whatever, and point the gun and try and shoot him, but they can't shoot him because he's like too small and fast. And...
If I'm recalling right, I think that Ant-Man was my grandpa's favorite superhero.
Really?
Because Ant-Man's an old character.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
He's one of the OG.
And in fact, like it almost seems like they bridged the old Ant-Man of the the original Avengers with this new one that they're kind of like introducing. I mean, there's a little bit of a passing of a torch, and
because I specifically remember my grandpa at some point in my life having a conversation about superheroes.
Yeah,
and mentioning his favorite one that could shrink and go through a keyhole. And that's exactly what you're describing. That must have been Ant-Man.
That's Ant-Man.
Or someone very similar.
That is Ant-Man for sure.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any way you can confuse that one. It's totally fun. It's I think what was kind of fun about old Marvel and old comics is like, you kind of be like, oh, this is like a little hokey, but not really. I mean, these are like, when you get to like put them on the big screen and use the technology of today to kind of like tell the story, if your story's worth telling, it's really awesome to see that kind of old hokiness. Like, yeah, this is way cool.
Well, it's all updated, right? It's like we were talking about, like the Batman v Superman, about the Supreme Court case.
Yeah.
About how they were trying to give Superman darkness and something to struggle with, and trying to give it weight.
Right.
And that's kind of the thing with all of it, right? It's bringing it into the modern, so that it is, they're fighting Al Qaeda or whatever. Like,
well, that's in Iron Man. He's like,
right?
basically,
I know.
like,
yeah,
having to do that, like, which is cool when you take your time and it's detailed and it's really, you care, you give a shit about the characters. I mean, because like superheroes or whatever, like you have a guy who runs around and does things and he's a superhero, big fucking deal. But like what you care about is the part that you can relate to, the human aspect of it, or the character that like has a deal. Like I freak out because, okay, so X-Men was always my thing. That was the thing I grew up. That was like the 90s kid thing, man, was fucking X-Men. X-Men was like huge. I was like a huge X-Men fan. I mean, outside of like the classics like Batman and stuff.
I wanted to like X-Men, and I did, but because all I knew was the cartoon that used to be on. Yeah, that one. Yeah, I don't know. I felt like there was too many characters. I couldn't really get into it because I didn't know anything. It was too much happening. I
fucking lost my mind when I was like, I'm gonna get to see Wolverine animated. Like, I was just the hugest Wolverine fan. I don't know why. I don't know what it was. I still don't know to this day what it was that like appealed to me about Wolverine. It wasn't like, oh, he's like the coolest character or anything, although he kind of was.
I feel like I've always been not a fan of Wolverine, but only to go against the norm because everyone likes Wolverine. So I'm like, I'm not gonna like that because I'm an individual.
But what I loved about the X-Men is it seemed like they were more like relatable as far as being like younger, like teenagers or early 20s or whatever, and of just having to like deal with life with these fucking weird powers. But it really wasn't until I was like a cynical, bitter adult where I was like, man, I'm pretty sure if most of us had superpowers, we would use them for laziness. Not for good or evil, but just for being lazy.
Yeah.
Like, if you could float everywhere, why would you ever walk? And wouldn't that, like, affect your ability to stay fit?
That's a good point.
Because, like, the whole idea of technology for the longest time, at least in American history, has always been about convenience. Like, One day we'll have robot servants who will, bring us ice from our amazing magic ice machine, or we won't have to cook anymore because we can just pour some water on some pills and then it'll blow up into a turkey that we can eat.
Yeah.
It's always been built around this like idea of like, as long as I can stay immobile for the longest amount of time, I'm maximizing what life is about or something. And I'm not saying that like across the board. That's what makes superheroes so great, is that they actually want to use these extraordinary powers for like something, as opposed to just like doing nothing with them. But I really feel like the majority of the human race would find a way to just be lazy pieces of shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know if we've discussed superpowers before.
I don't think we have, not like on a personal level, no.
My go-to superpower is suggestion. Like Kilgrave, basically. Like
Yeah.
that's my exact superpower I've always wanted.
Yeah.
Have you watched Jessica Jones?
I haven't watched. Oh, that guy! Holy shit!
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've watched up to like the episode where they bang, her and the one dude.
Luke Cage.
Yeah. That's Luke Cage.
His show's
shit.
coming out. Yeah.
That's awesome. I have a Luke Cage #1 from the '90s, not the original like '70s '80s one, but the '90s reboot.
Yeah, he's got his own show coming out
Man,
soon.
he is awesome in that show. That is, yeah, that's cool. But yeah, it's like episode 3 or 4. But yeah, I know who you're talking about.
But
yeah.
that's always been like if I could have, because I mean,
He's like the puppet master in Heroes.
I'm not really a fan of Heroes. I
Oh,
didn't
okay.
really like it. I never watched it, but that'd be like the ultimate, like the whole Spider-Man thing. With power comes responsibility,
Right.
because you'd be able to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
So of course I'd abuse it. You know what I mean? Like, of course.
It would just be how it's hard not to.
But at some point you got to be like, all right, whatever. Like, I'm out of fun things to do with this.
Yeah.
At some point you got to be like, what can I do for good with this? And then it becomes the question of, is it really even good? If it's like it's like with kids or whatever, it's like they're behaving but you're making them do it. It's not genuine. They don't want to be behaving.
That's like religion.
Right. Well, so you make someone has to choose to change.
Right.
It's like if someone's like a alcoholic, it's like,
So if superpowers happen, is it choosing to change, or is it just bring out your most inner, what you've either tried to hide away or try and act like you're not, or try, like
that's the question.
the
Yeah.
actual you is birthed into existence.
It'd be the same struggle as now, as like the masks we wear for society versus the devil that we actually live with, or
Yeah.
whatever. Like, how genuine am I when I talk to people? Is that the real me, or is it some sort of mask
Right, am
I
I
wear
just putting
for
on
their...
a face and accent?
It'd
for
be
them?
the same thing, only enhanced. Like, if you could fly and throw people a mile, like, it'd be the same problems we have now. It would be on a heightened level.
So
Like, if I had the power of suggestion, I'd have to decide,
how far you could take it. How far would you want to take it, and where would you? Yeah.
Right. Well, and if I go to all the world leaders and just tell them to get along, like, is that, then we're just living in this fake matrix of my creation that's not really freedom.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you to be nice. So
Right.
it's not really freedom. So I guess we should play another song at this juncture.
I don't even know if this person will want to be associated with this episode, though.
Yeah, the thoughts and opinions expressed by Rob and Lowki don't necessarily reflect those of our guests, past, present, or future.
Nope.
And obviously there are no present guests, because there's no guest on this podcast.
Although, if you're listening to it, we could possibly be recording as you're listening to it with a guest for the next show that's coming up. Did you ever see the pre-recorded live call-in show?
I'm so confused.
So there was this thing called the pre-recorded live call-in show,
Yeah.
where they record the previous week. That's when you have people call in for a topic, and then you inform the listener who thinks that this is live that next week is a different topic. So call in. So if you call in as you're listening to this current one, the topic next week has changed. So if you want to call and talk about that topic that's coming up next week, you need to call right now, because you're listening to last week's show
That's so confusing. They should just do that shit live.
It's so funny,
What are
man.
they
Like,
doing?
it's a Mr. Show skit,
Oh, I
and
see.
like David Cross is just like
Willfully obtuse then.
losing his shit, just like trying to explain this concept to everybody who's calling, talking about the previous week's episode. He's like bringing up a topic for the next coming episode. It's
I understand.
it's amazing. Yeah. So
Anyway.
with that in mind, we should play a song by Zach Freeman.
Right.
And this one is
What we were trying to say is the views and opinions expressed, Zach has nothing to do with them. We're just playing this song by him because he's our friend and this song's awesome.
and he did it live, and yeah, there's live video. You can check it out on Media Icons, IKONZ.
Yo, you got to
YouTube.
put, I noticed I was on the Facebook page and the only video that's up on there is the one with Jackie. You got to put some of the other ones up on the Facebook.
I will. I'm gonna do all the live stuff that we haven't had recently, and we can just start releasing them like every several days and try and get some traffic and shit.
On like the other side of the week from when the podcast comes out.
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
like Thursday or whatever would
On
be
an-
the podcast,
on an
and then
off
like
day.
Monday would be the video.
Monday's like perfect for releasing things because everybody's like sad they had to go back to work. They
Right.
want a distraction, and so they're sitting.
That's
there
the
at their
day that
computers.
I stare at my podcast list on my phone
Yeah.
and wait for it to refresh with my hands shaking and my brow beaded with sweat. That's the day I need content. Give me content, baby.
Okay, content.
Speaking of content, this is a song by Zach Freeman.
Yes,
It's called Macho Man.
check it out.
He said that he gon' put up the sky. He don't tell no lie. He don't tell no lie. No, oh no, no, oh no. Well, he said that he gon' put up the sky. He don't tell no lie. He don't tell no lie. No, oh no, no, oh no. Well, he said that he gon' put up the sky. He don't tell no lie. He don't tell no lie. No, oh no, no, he said that he gon' put up the sky. He don't tell no lie. He don't tell no lie. Come on, oh no. Yo, we all thought that we could believe him, but then we pushed and now we can see that there's a new sky waiting for all of us to step. You never could imagine what one person could do. Yes, we all believe and we all try to understand things that we're looking at. Our own eyes are the things that we believe. If we were paying attention to what just happened like a minute ago, we try to push and pull and we strive to move, and then we walk away and forget to say that this anthem means that we are all united underneath this banner of humanity. It's not you and me, it's just us and them and all of us pushing for the same reason that we're getting farther. It's okay if we all get wounded in the struggle, but the problem is that we are causing all the trouble. Now come on. He said that he gon' put up the sky. He said that he gon' put up the sky. He don't tell no lie. He he don't tell no lie. No, 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 oh, oh, oh. He said that he gon' put up the sky. He don't tell no lie. He don't tell no lie. No, oh, oh no, oh, no, 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 oh, no, oh. Yo, we all back in the saddle once again, riding around like cowboys and Indians. Yeah, it's really funny when we asking for the money that we've already been paid just for being citizens. It's like more rights for the more fights for us to stop responsibility that's falling apart. We all losing all the footing that we had, because we all know that when we grow up we just wanna be bad, not cool. We play the fool when we have the time to pay attention to our kids. Now we got these rhymes that make more sense to us than the money in the wallet that we spent 8 hours trying to work for. It's no door, it's in store, it's a new sale, it's another day to bail out on the people that we thought that we were. Now it's just another price tag, put that back into the bag, y'all. If you need another hamburger, another french fry, another freaking frozen drink, because that stops us all from thinking about the things that really matter. Now we're watching ourselves. It's like obesity is not just another unit, it's a way of life. So just look at your wife and your kids and your car and your dog. It's not far for you to that I'm not really trying to lie about Macho Man. Size is really us, and you can't believe that it happened to you. You woke up one day and you found out that it wouldn't let you have space. It was all about, it's like air we breathe, it's like songs we see, it's like lives we want, it's those things we from we can't be any more useful than we really were when we were just babies. It's so weird. He said that he gon' put up the sky. He don't tell no lie, he don't tell no lie, no. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh yeah. He said that he gon' put up the sky. He don't tell no lie, he don't tell no lie, no. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh yeah. He said that he gon' put up the sky. He don't tell no lie, he don't tell no lie, no.
I don't know. There's a lot of interesting questions. Like, what if Kilgrave was a hero?
Yeah.
Like, what would his... I don't know if there is a Kilgrave comic book of him, like, struggling with that, but it would be cool. It would be a good story.
It would be a good story. And those are usually what the best stories are, to me, like, about. Like, Deadpool was, you know, this guy who, like, does awful things and has an awful life, but, like, is trying to find a way to not be so awful, you know, with all that awfulness. But like going back to Heroes, like I will say solidly the first season of Heroes and episode like I think it's like 11 or 13 in season 2 is amazing. Like you have George Takei playing you remember Hero, the little Japanese guy who time travels and shit like that. Yeah. Well, at some point he realizes his father, spoiler alert, George Takei is going to die. And he figures out the time and place, and so he goes to like save him, and his dad is there, and this is after like he's already died, and Hero hasn't wanted to like deal with this, so he goes back in time to stop it. And George Takei is like, you know, the line that like always got me that I thought was so good, you know, it's that Uncle Ben with great responsibility line, but the way he put it was like, although we've been given the powers of gods, it doesn't make us gods. And he's like, if it's my time to go, I have to go. And you're going to have to learn how to deal with it. That's what your next thing is going to be. And that applies extremely well to the upper primate that thinks it's above all of nature, human.
Well, it also goes well, if we want to get kind of social justicey with it for a minute, it goes well with the idea of privilege. No. I mean, in our society, everyone we know has some kind of privilege, right? Whether it's to white privilege, American privilege,
economic privilege, social privilege.
Yeah. Right. To some degree, you have to acknowledge, all right, I got a good roll of the dice here.
Somebody has it worse off than I do.
Right. So that's like that question, but with superheroes, right?
But I think that's what makes it so good is that like you can say a sentence like that, which is ambiguous only in the way of who it can apply to, but not what the purpose is. Like, yes. So we do, like, just the regular person does have the power of gods. We've, you know, I can ride my bicycle with no handlebars. You know, like that fucking song is like about the ability to like create total annihilation or total utopia. I have that ability within myself. We all have that ability within ourselves.
We're awesome.
And what do we do with that? Do we do that? Do we say we're awesome and put it on
we record ourselves talking about comic books and shit.
and put it on the internet and be like, aren't I
Give me
cool? Look at what
attention.
I'm doing. I'm so great. But I think it really goes to like the Greeks are always like, what makes you virtuous is how you like use your downtime. Do you sit there and like jerk off to we're gonna bring this all around, watch, jerk off to like Las Vegas style music and art and all that shit, or do you use the time in between your downtime to like sharpen your tools? What makes you virtuous? Like what kind of behavior is gonna make you like prepared, because work will stop and you'll be able to like enjoy some moments, have some breathing room. Do you just like twiddle that shit away, or fetter it away, or do you like actually like get ready for the next bunch of shit that's going to happen?
Well, and morality or right action, so to say, is all relative too, right? You could have a House of a Thousand Corpses situation where you're Otis Firefly, Otis Driftwood, and in your morality, you have a mental block. You have to work. And that means turning someone's boyfriend into a fish statue and presenting them with it. And that's how you work your way through your block. And that's a successful day if you were able to create your art. And that's all that matters in his morality. Right.
But is morality like just something that only a single person can like make for themselves, or does it exist in like a larger social sense? Because you can bring that around and be like, okay, I'm going to tie in like a couple of different totally disparate things, but they're going to like fit together. Yeah. So with the idea, the coolest thing about Tomorrowland, the Disney movie, like I actually really like that movie. I like Brad.
I've gathered that.
I like Brad Bird and I like that movie, but there's this one part where, another spoiler alert, Hugh Laurie's character is like, you guys are seeing how things are turning out. It's going to go bad if you continue down this path. And as long as you don't have to change anything in your lifestyle, then, it's going to go that way. And all the future asks of you is that you work today for a better tomorrow. And you won't do it. And, cause he's coming from like the point of despair, whereas like the other characters are coming from like we can make it better. But I'm starting to get to the point where like I don't even give a shit about like trying to make uplifting things anymore. Not like I'm trying to like wallow in some kind of shit, but I just mean like when I thought of doing Death Panel Socialites, like the story or whatever, it's like supposed to be a warning. But I'm like, we have so many warning signals at this point, like real ones, not just like fictitious stories, And so I've kind of gotten to like the point where I'm like Ozymandias, the character from Watchmen, who his only solution to save the planet is to kill millions of people. Yeah. Like we're talking about there's some militant eco terror types out there that are totally on board for that kind of thing, right? Like, well, and we're talking about the moral relativism and what's right and what's going to be like better for the world. What like in it's like the beautiful thing about Watchmen is like in a corrupt world, is doing the right thing, being a good person and a good superhero. Is that twisted now? Like, do you have to do things that like are morally gray in order to get the
Walking Dead talks about that question a lot,
to get the end result of like what is better for the world or society or the human race or whatever, like I think we crossed like they always call like postmodernism, which postmodernism is always like that kind of moral relativist thought of, like there's modern philosophy and then postmodernism is more of like, not that everything's relative, but like that there's deeper, larger issues about systems and stuff like that, like society and things like that, that like will always color how you are able to deal with or logic things out. Or
it's like the end of that Batman movie where the Joker puts the bombs on the two different
I love that.
trains or whatever it is, boats or whatever.
Yeah. And you can blow them up or you can blow them up. Either way, you're both going to get blown up if somebody doesn't blow the other person, the other boat up.
One's full of prisoners and the other is full of regular ass people or whatever.
And so we've gotten, obviously we know what enlightenment is, in the kind of Eastern sense of like, it's not about like, well, I'm gonna, watch gonzo porn and mainline drugs and fatty foods.
I think if you do that with the right mindset, it could be very enlightened. That's the whole relativism thing we're talking about, right?
Yeah, but I guess at the end of the day, who does it hurt? So if you're like, I love technology, but I don't love Asian suffering, for which I need the technology, like,
if they weren't Asian, would you feel better about it?
Well, if you like diamonds, African suffering, like everything that you, in some ways, I think the whole idea of like, those kind of Middle Eastern things is like your enjoyment, may be at the oppression of somebody, maybe somebody else's oppression or something.
I think of like, I guess my morality is the same as the way that I deal with supporting the troops, right? I don't support the troops because I don't know the troops.
Right.
Here and there, I'll meet a troop, and if they're cool, I'll support them. If they're a dick, fuck that guy. I don't care that he's also a troop. He's a dick. Fuck that guy, right?
But you're talking about dealing with them on an individual basis, whereas like...
But that's what I'm talking about as far as moment to moment.
Yeah.
There are situations.
Right.
You can't say that in this moment, there's a lot of variables in a certain moment of what's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And that might not apply on a larger scale or in a different situation or in another culture. Or you never
But that's
know.
why we
Nobody
should.
knows.
But that's why we should have banned abortion. Because it's all the same. It's all the same story. Oh, your dad raped you. I don't care. You gotta have that baby. Sorry, he's gonna have web feet. You gotta have it. It's gonna have lobster paws. You gotta have it.
And then as soon as he's born, fuck him. Fuck that poor piece of filth.
Should have been born rich, kid. No, like the support the troop thing. Like I don't really try and talk about that too much because honestly, it's not like you were born that way. You weren't born in an army suit, and you weren't born with camouflage skin.
You made a bad choice.
And you made a choice.
It might have been under the impression you were doing the right thing.
But I support humans. I don't support the truncheon of imperialistic economic policy.
Right.
I don't.
And that's what I mean by the troops.
Yeah. And honestly, that's how I like interpret that. Like, I support the truncheon of imperialistic economic policy.
Right. I admire the decision to make the self-sacrifice for your fellow countrymen. But I also think that's pretty naive in 2016.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm an asshole that doesn't understand the world, but that's what I think.
I don't like there should be a sense of service in a society. Like when all these fucking annoying libertarian or constitutionalists like sit there and be like, tax is theft. And I'm like, okay, but here's the thing. It's true. Before World War before World War II, there wasn't any like income tax. Like the IRS, the way it exists now, it wasn't like that. Doesn't mean we didn't take taxes off of businesses and corporations. We fucking did because, we had to like break up monopolies and things like that. Because you got to, when you play a game, when you play baseball or you play football, you got to have fucking rules. Otherwise, it's the biggest guys beating the shit out of the littlest people the whole fucking time. And who wants to watch? Well, maybe some.
That's the Walking Dead world. That's what that is.
Yeah. And so you have to, in Walking Dead world, in very simple terms, you're going to be part of a collective group. Rugged individualism is a fucking myth. You need a group of people to survive, and everybody has to carry their fucking weight.
Well, it's not a myth if you're Negan. You are the individual, and you just have people do your bidding. But we can't all be Negan. Most of us are just regular-ass people that need each other
to get by. And that's a good way to, like King George III, where you're such a vicious asshole that by the end, it's your whole court that kills you, not the peasants, not the masses, not the opposing armies, nothing like that. It's the people you're closest to.
What does that guy say in Harold and Kumar, the guy that's in jail, the protester, and like the backwards
man.
racist town.
I don't remember.
He's like, the universe tends to even out, or whatever.
Oh
it
yeah,
is.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. But yeah, like I don't know. That was an amazing tangent we just went off on.
Yeah, I don't even know what we've been talking about. We got to end the podcast. It's time.
It is.
It's time for us to go.
Well, this week we didn't have our guest.
Obviously.
But
If you were waiting this whole time for a guest to start talking, I apologize. It was just us. You probably should have figured that out when I'm assuming in the intro that we're going to record that you will have already heard.
that we... No,
We'll
we did
say
say, we
that
did say that.
there's-
We did say
Well, we will have.
We're just calling back to the beginning of the show.
Right. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to get at.
This is a callback right now. Well, I haven't watched any good movies yet. I wanted to go see Hardcore Henry. Maybe I will go see that in theaters. Probably not, because
Looks like it'll make me dizzy.
which is what excites me about it. Maybe just go in there.
Is that why you made us these crazy whiskey drinks that we've been drinking?
I know, right? Like, shoot, am I dizzy? No, lightheaded. It went right to the head. Yeah, but haven't seen anything good. Haven't read anything good lately. I need to finish up Daredevil season 2. It's been amazing so far. They're gonna give Punisher his own spin-off.
Oh,
Yeah,
are they?
Yeah. It's all.
That makes sense. They
it's
should
all,
do that.
It's all gravy in Distraction World. It's pretty
Man,
sweet.
I noticed that the Punisher wipes his mouth a lot.
They really missed out on the head shaving scene though.
He does shave his face in the mirror in slow motion. I think we talked about all of this already. The similarities between Shane and Frank.
Frank Castle.
All right, let's stop talking about things.
Well,
and
cool.
let's
This month, Quietly Kept will have a bunch of shows coming up, so peep that shit.
be on the lookout. LokiSapfoot.com will have something on it soon.
Yeah.
Go there. And if you don't see anything, send me hate mail and be like, get some shit on there, motherfucker.
Send some dick pics and twat shots and
Oh, yeah. Always with the dick pics and the twat shots. LokiSapfoot@gmail.com.
boom. All right, kids. Well, shoot. We'll have a guest next week. I don't know who it's gonna be. It's gonna be a mystery. It's gonna be exciting. Have a good week. We'll catch you on the flippity flop.
Goodbye.
Peace.
I think I'm losing my ability to express myself meaningfully.
Express yourself.
Right, exactly. I keep like tripping over my words recently and
Yeah.
stuttering.
It's Alzheimer's, man. It's that pop marijuana. It'll
It
cause
might be.
it'll
Yeah.
cause you to have Alzheimer's onset quickly.
Is that a fact? I've actually heard that it helps with it.
Yeah,
Maybe only if you.
I think that's bullshit. I think that was a rumor created by alcohol companies because there is actual data that shows your brain cells die when you fucking drink.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, but you don't need that many brain cells.
man, it's a fucking hologram. The brain is a hologram anyway.
It's like you don't need to drink to have fun, but it fucking helps.
Well, man,
You know,
I'm gonna
like-
tell you something.
Who said that?
Working-
I'm quoting someone. I don't remember who.
Working in an establishment that serves alcohol as its primaral.
It's
Primaral. Oh God, fuck. Too much,
Primary
too much
is the word you're looking for.
primary school, where you should have learned how to speak and know language and stuff. When you're working in a place like that, you're basically the sober guy at the party.
Yeah.
That's basically what it's like, and it can be absolutely fucking infuriating because you're just.
So does that make you want to drink more, or does it make you want to drink less because you're like, I don't want to be like these jackasses?
It makes you want to drink less after you've already drank more. Because you're like, oh no, I'm just like them. Damn it. I mean, you want to drink to deal with them.
Right.
Because you're just like, I wish I was having this much fun about talking about nothing, like this podcast. But yeah, it's pretty lame. But did you have an idea? You had an idea for a song?
Oh, did I? Well, I just started recording. I don't know. I have no idea.
Well, then we should do Batwings. I don't care. What
That
anybody
makes
says.
sense. We used to be in that band.
God damn it. Yeah.
God damn it.
Why not Monsters since we're talking about the human race?
Why not? That's a good one to go out on. It's all about the internal struggle of morality and
Oh, totally.
self-empowerment.
Totally.
the questions we all face. I feel like this previous podcast that you just listened to was either like super deep or just retarded.
Right.
And sorry for using the R word. But...
What's wrong with you faggot?
Oh, jeez. Oh, God.
Now we're going to get people angry at us. The only reason I bring up that word is because working in a bar establishment, we did have to cut somebody off, and he said that to one of the bartenders. What are you, some kind of faggot? And that guy, we do have like an LGBT community coworker.
Mm-hmm.
She was not there that night, which was lucky for that guy.
Yeah.
Because that guy would have had his fucking clock cleaned. They would have had to take him out on a stretcher. He'd have been saying that shit with a face full of glass. So,
fun fact, faggot is a derogatory term for homosexuals because it likens them to something you would use to start a fire, meaning that we should burn them alive. I'm not saying we should burn them alive, but when you call someone a faggot, that's essentially what you're getting at.
It's an incendiary comment.
Yeah. Yes. All right. That's the more you know, the problem with everything. Here's a song by Batwings for Lab Rats. Think hard about everything you've just heard while you listen to this. It's called Monster, and we will see you next week.
And don't take it so serious.
Yeah. Why so serious, guy?
God, man. Peace.
Perfect except for everything. Change is the only thing constant today or tomorrow. Whether I'm a hero, a monster, an imposter, or the genuine article. My heart is so twisted up, but what's fucked up's time to come down for what's up. Get back up, fill my cup up to the brim, causing earthquakes on a whim. I'm him, in front of that majestic. No rest for the wicked. It's just another sick kid flipping cryptic scripture. It's the cure. Got that complex simplicity. Don't listen to me, listen to the wind in the trees. I hear God talking to me, so please believe what we're down here in the grease, paying fees for diseases. Where's Jesus when you need him? I seen him on TV last week saying death to the meat creature, comforts for the weak-minded. All the time, it's time for expansion. The mansion of the mind is right here. Let's walk in, plug in, turn it up with the stomping. Everybody jump in if you can't swim. Just trust in the universe, no rehearsal. Just forward, no reversal. There's a curse you'll have to live with. A gift you don't want. It blesses it hard. Nightmares or dreams, you got what you paid for. All of these things, they come knocking at your door. Down to the roof or up from the floor, they feed on your core. Nightmares or dreams, you got what you paid for. All of these things, they come knocking at your door. Down to the roof or up to the floor, they feed on your core. Nightmares or dreams, you got what you paid for. All of these things, they come knocking at your door. Down to the roof or up from the floor, they feed on your core.
Diddly-diddly-doo.